Hello and good evening. This is Overlord Pop Tart coming back at you with yet another vlog. No real reason behind it, but here we are again. Let me adjust down my brightness here for you so you can see me a little bit easier. Here, come on, there we go. Updated to Windows 11 and now everything is difficult to get to. There we go. That's a little better. Alright. Leave my lamp up as if I was already prepared. There we go. Screw it down a little bit. That works. It doesn't, but it's a little better. Yeah, that'll have to do. Good evening. Not a lot happened today. Started off, went and did some PT. We went for a run. No, we didn't. No. Today was the gym, yeah. Yeah, my memory's not great. This is already very challenging to do, just to remember what I did today. But yeah, we went to the gym. It was a pull day, so we did pull-oriented exercises. Did fine, not too sore from that. Then immediately after that, got ready for the day, headed to the office for work, and then saw a text that I missed just as I was leaving that we didn't have to be at the office for work. We were going to get immunizations. I think I still have the, Band-Aids. Got 4 shots, 2 in this arm, 2 in the other. I told my Discord buddies there was 3 in one arm and 1 in the other because I was not paying attention the whole time. I'm fine with needles, but sight of blood gets me woozy, so I was staring off into space. She could have stabbed me 6 times. I would not have noticed. But honestly, it didn't really hurt. I'm doing just fine. After that, we got to have the rest of the morning off because by the time we were all done, it was about 10:45. We usually get released just after 11 for lunch, so we were rocking. Got to come back and relax a little bit. Just about took a nap, but I did that once and showed up late to work afterwards, so not doing that again. I was very careful not to fall asleep, so I just got some shut-eye, got to rest. Let's see, after that, I didn't have too much to do in the office. I'm going to have a bunch of things to do tomorrow and the day after, just because scheduling happened. But today I got to kind of relax. I was hanging out with one of the people in my office named Kim, and we were talking a little bit about cars, because that's a big thing I'm into. And he was talking to me about Korean automotive culture a little bit. I mean, basically no one had cars except for rich people until very, very recently, so there's not a lot to go back on. But their first car, much like a lot of other countries, was sort of this like amalgamation of parts from the Willys Jeep. Because back in the Korean War, we were still using semblances of that Jeep. I think that might be the right word. If it's not, oh well, I'm not intelligent and I never claimed to be. Anyway, Korea's first car, much like many other countries, Jeep, as I was saying, and it was literally translated into English called the first car, or first car, something like that. And I just thought that was super cool. I figured I'd share that with you. The Korean first ever car, first car made in Korea, was called First Car. Kind of gives you some insight into the culture here. It's very to the point. We were talking back and forth about how America has a lot more old cars, and I was showing him just, pardon me. My neck hurts quite a bit, quite often. Got to crack that. Try to relieve some, who knows? It's magic. Everybody knows that. You pop your fingers and you feel better. Anyway, what was I talking about? Yes, we were talking about terrible old cars that I love, like the AMC Gremlin. For some reason, he loved how that looked. He really liked the Gremlin. The third generation Mustang, where it's kind of chunky and weird. If you know what I'm talking about, the King Cobra, that generation Mustang that nobody liked. Me and him both think those cars are great because they're just so funny looking. But that was kind of fun just to see his view on American cars that we completely disregard as having any value. Like we don't want those. And he looks at them and goes, those are super cool. I would love to have that. we got onto the topic of him wanting to own a Mustang. I showed him some listings and said, like, hey, man, you could totally own one someday. Just save your money. You could do it. Because he thought they were all like $60,000 show cars. They are not. There's a fair share of beat-up old Mustangs out there to grab a good piece of and enjoy. But that's all I really did at the office. It was a really slow day. Tomorrow we'll have quite a bit to talk about, I'm willing to bet, because I have to interview 2 separate people and get some B-roll. But tonight we do have a little bit of a special event, seeing as I didn't do too much in the office. I did get a haircut, so it's mirrored, and I have to remember that. Much shorter on the side. It's more comfortable. Not a lot to say about it. I didn't really do much today, so we are going to be doing something mentioned in a Discord channel that I keep referencing that basically gives me most of my ideas. I'm going to be comparing, as I promised earlier as well in one of my videos, TWIZZLERS versus Redvines. I am 100% not sure if I am allowed to show those bags on screen, because most YouTube videos that I've seen, they have to cover those up. But I guess I'll just say I'm not sponsored or endorsed by either of these companies. Maybe that will help. I'm not sure. YouTube, please do not hurt me. I'm going to eat some licorice now. In fact, I was thinking of a... stop touching that so you can actually hear me, because I know the mic is terrible. I apologize. I'll actually say I had to think of a title beforehand, because I kind of didn't want to mention the corporation names, like the possible trademarks in the video. So it's going to be laundry and licorice, because the only productive thing that I'm really proud of today was the fact that I cleaned my room and finally folded all my laundry. So there's the title for this one video. I guarantee you future me is going to be rewatching this trying to remember what it was. But here we go. I'm going to open these now. Okay, I guess that's as far as I'm opening the Redvines bag. To be honest, it's not part of the competition, but TWIZZLERS doesn't have to go very far to beat Redvines here. And they didn't. There's no opening on it. Why would you not? Okay. Redvines wins that arbitrary contest by default, simply because TWIZZLERS didn't do anything. Wow, this side of my face is really dark. Jiminy. Okay, I gotta get a light on that side. Note to self that I won't remember. Get a light on that side. You can't not think of Halloween opening up a TWIZZLERS bag. I will give them that. The Redvines. On smell, 8. Can't see. Yeah, whatever, you don't need to see. 8, 6. But this is the important part that actually matters. Everything up till now has literally no significance in the universe. Taste test. Now, this is an important point. Which do I eat first? The one I'm biased towards, the Redvines, or the TWIZZLERS? I think the TWIZZLERS. Because if I eat the Redvines, I'm going to be thinking about all the good parts of a Redvine. Then when I get to the TWIZZLERS, that's what I'm going to be thinking about. So I'm going to eat the TWIZZLERS first, think about the good parts of that, and then eat the Redvines, just to give the TWIZZLERS the benefit of the doubt. Now, I hate TWIZZLERS. I think they're inferior. I will eat them. They are still good. But I think that they are completely inferior to the point where I do not buy them. If the Redvines are out, your boy ain't eating licorice. These are licorice, technically, aren't they? I'm going to look that up. I'm going to put it in the description whether or not these are actually licorice, because I feel like they're technically not. Because they don't say licorice anywhere on here, do they? Yeah. I'm looking that up. I'm going to hate myself if this is untrue because it's going to make my title untrue, but oh well. Taste test. Here goes the Twizzlers. Texture is bad. Texture is too chewy. See, I'm doing what I was doing before, where I was thinking of the good things about a Redvine that I like, not the good things of this. I think. There's no offensive aftertaste. You can eat these and then not eat anything, and not be like Twizzlers an hour and a half later. Doesn't stick around with you as much. Probably a result of, you know, not being as good. If you could even hear that whisper. I feel like these are strawberry flavored. Redvines are literally red. I feel like if you told me this was strawberry flavored, I'd be like, oh, okay, sure. It's not what a strawberry tastes like, but it's what strawberry candy tastes like. So, for going for an actual flavor and achieving it, sure, I can give Twizzlers a point. But come on, that texture, the flavor is weak. It just feels like I'm eating plastic, man. And another thing. They're too thin. You can't make a straw out of them. I mean, technically, yes, they're hollowed out, but I mean, that's full strength. Come on. Completely plugged. Not even a little bit of air got out there. Just an inferior licorice. Come on. Completely edible. Still candy, so it's going to be enjoyable. But it's like driving a base model of a car. It'll get you from point A to point B, but I kind of wish you'd sprung for something a little better. And that something a little better is your boy the Redvine. Now, these look bigger. Yes, they are a little bit bigger. But seeing that it's not an enormous difference, and these probably differ from the factory, I'm just going to say they're the same size. Twizzlers is a really, really deep red, but to be honest, that less so makes me put off from the Twizzlers and more so makes me put off from the Redvines, because now I'm focusing on the fact that they are not flavored. They are colored, like Gatorades. Nobody calls it Frost Arctic Blast. It's light blue. But Gatorade aside, let's give this a try. Not as soft as I remember. Still softer. I remember this being a lot squishier. To be honest, those are probably stale because I like to stretch out my snacks. I don't like to eat them all at once. So, squishier. Normally, I criticize Twizzlers for having a really, really hard texture. This still has a bit of a stiff texture. So I really can't take too many points off Twizzlers. Not to mention, as I said before, Twizzlers doesn't have that offensive aftertaste. Redvines does, as a result of just having more flavor. But I feel like, out of the two, if I was going to brush my teeth afterwards and spit, the one that would make my spit red, like you know after you've had like a blue popsicle and your tongue is blue, yeah, the one most likely to stain stuff in my mouth, Redvines. I somehow feel a little bit, I don't want to say healthier. I'm going to say a little bit less unhealthy eating the Twizzlers. Because the Redvines just taste more like candy. They don't taste like a thing, and their flavor is stronger. So maybe it's time that I finally realized that these two are for different purposes and different kinds of people. The Twizzlers has their upsides. Maybe somebody wants a chewy food. I know I like bubble gum, stuff like that. Chew on that for forever. The Redvines is for somebody who actually wants to use their licorice as a straw. Twizzlers. You could probably hear that even on my crappy mic. I could breathe through this thing for the rest of the video. I'd be fine. I think if Twizzlers made theirs more straw-like, they'd be very, very, very close to winning this. I still probably have to give it to Redvines if this was a competition, but I think I'll call the competition off because they both have upsides. Still not eating Twizzlers though, because I am the audience for Redvines. But I recognize the fact that there is an audience for Twizzlers, and if you're on that side, let me know in the comments. And then you can like, and then you can subscribe. Check me out. Look at me being a YouTuber. Dab. I regret everything I've ever done. But at least I have 3 weeks worth of licorice to console myself with. So I will get to consoling and then immediately sleeping because it is late as heck. Thank you very much for watching to the end. This is indeed the end. I'm probably going to just sit here, eat licorice, brush my teeth heartily to brush the staining red off, and then go to bed. So, I hope you have a wonderful day, night, evening, morning, afternoon, weekend, work day, bar mitzvah, Hanukkah, who knows. Whatever it is, I hope it's wonderful for you. I will see you next time. Stay frosty.